So what is technology?
Technology is something that's really cool. What it does is it allows students to be able to learn in different ways. It allows students to learn visually, auditorily, hands-on with smart boards and stuff, and it's just a great way for students to be able to interact with education.
Technology is like anything that you use, any outside resource aside from like paper and pen.
It's a resource, especially in today's society. It's used everywhere. We see it everywhere. We use it. Just like you're recording me right now, and I'll probably get on my phone after this. And student teaching, we always use technology, so it's a very important resource.
Like anything that's computerized or has data or hold record of some sort.
Like computer stuff, I guess.
From the perspective of a student, probably begins and ends with a computer. So please know how to use that. You can pretty much figure everything out beyond that point, I think.
Do you use technology in the classroom, like when studying?
In the classroom, as a student, yes, and as a teacher, I think. I think both go hand in hand. Teachers are more likely to provide opportunities for students to learn through technology, through different methods, different modes of whether it be technology or through Facebook, through Twitter, through all sorts of things to allow them to communicate with one another, schedule study days, schedule what they need to do to make sure they are on point and ready to rock and roll come test time.
Yes, I'm a student teacher right now, so we use technology in the classroom all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What do you use? You just use your
Yeah, laptop usually.
laptop?
Yes.
Okay.
And the students find it extremely beneficial when they're using it, especially the ones who have specific needs. And differentiating instruction, you can use technology, so it's definitely needed.
Because we turn in all our homework online, so we must use it for that. So to type our papers, and then like our emails to communicate, and cell phone.
While studying, yes, not so much in the classroom. I bring this up in class. Typically we get yelled at, and so the teachers find it disrespectful. Grand Canyon did this great thing about giving Wi-Fi everywhere, and so the likelihood that I'm actually doing my work as opposed to searching on Facebook is trust issues.
How do you think people learn before technology?
Oral stories passed down through history. A lot of times it was a matter of circling up and telling stories and telling them about the heritage of who they are and delineating information that way compared to going on Google and just finding it right away.
That's a good question. I always wonder that actually. Libraries? Reading books?
What?
Finding research in books? I don't know.
Good.
Learning from one another?
Encyclopedias and libraries.
Well, there are these places called libraries that are quickly becoming extinct, but you can still YouTube them and read about them from the early 19th and 20th century. And yeah, people read books.
Librarians, teachers that do the point system or whatever it's called.
They probably paid a lot more attention when someone was talking to them and teaching them something. Didn't have to learn it from the internet.
I think a lot of more research-based studying instead of Google and EBSCO, like our databases, so
Right.
things outside of that.
Okay, and then this is the opposite. So close your eyes and imagine the classroom in the future, and then what do you see?
I see those like little Google Glass tables where you write everything, research everything, do your work on it. So completely technology.
All computers. Maybe a teacher.
Lights, lots and lots of lights.
From a different country on your screen.
I think
Students not really paying attention because all the information is either downloaded to their brain or it's right there on their computer, their laptop, their tablet, whatever the case may be. Education being very different, education being very precise and very focused compared to in a technological world when people are easily to get distracted.
That it'll probably be all from the computer, like they won't even need teachers.
There is going to be that.
That's it.
Well, if I was asked this a long time ago, I used to think of like crazy things, but now it's like we literally have computers in our hands. So I've been doing some practicum, and I've seen smart boards, and they're much crazier than when I was in high school, so they're much harder. So I can't even begin to imagine like what greater resources the students will have, but as long as they're used appropriately and don't become a hindrance in the classroom, I think that like we can see anything is a big possibility now with technology.
And then what is the downside of technology, and how can we avoid it?
I would say the downside of technology would have to be the fact that people don't really have to read to research anymore. They can just look it up in Google, so they're losing a lot of that hands-on.
I think one of the downsides is probably if you lose something. I've seen a lot of students here, my peers, trying to present something, and they rely so much on a PowerPoint or on a presentation that they never have a backup plan because they're so relying that the internet is going to be there for them. And if it fails, you want to always have a plan B so that you are always prepared with something to follow, so that you don't have nothing, so you're not empty-handed at the end of the day. So as long as teachers base their lessons on learning teaching something on paper and pencil too, so that they have a plan B in case it doesn't work out.
It can be a distraction at times, and I mean, maybe you don't use it, like a teacher could say, don't use it unless,
And I think we can avoid it by teaching our students and people how to still go to research through the library and certain resources that aren't technology.
Well, we're in this for better or for worse with the whole technology thing. I think we're going to lose a lot of skills and gain a lot of new ones.
What are the benefits of technology in classrooms?
Allows kids to collaborate, allows them to focus on several different things at different times, and allows them to be people who can work together and be people who can collaborate and be team players.
Good.
I think the benefits is engagement, because a lot of students are now, they're millennials, so they like to learn using technology. And because they adapt, I mean, everybody usually now has a cell phone or iPad, so kids like to have these and use them in the classroom. But as long as they are not, like I said, only if they're used appropriately will they be beneficial. So I think when it comes to engagement, they become appropriate, but other than that, if they become a distraction, then that's when it's not good for the classroom.
The benefits probably are about as equal as the opposite of the benefits. You have everything that you need right at your fingertips, but the reality is that you didn't take the time to go and search for the information, so you're probably going to forget it a lot faster.
Benefits are they can explore for themselves, become their own learning agents.
if you have any questions, I guess you can, look them up on Google or something like that.
Is that students who have specific needs, like autistic kids or kids who have speech delays, or even behavioral issues, really, really love technology. So that would be one of the benefits of the technology. So that's a benefit.
Do you recommend the use of technology in classrooms?
Do I recommend it?
Yes.
Yes, I do recommend it. Yeah. If it's used right.
I think I would use it in my own classroom, and I would recommend it, especially because you want to have a relationship with your students. You want to know what they know, and you want to know how they learn and what kind of interests they have. So applying technology to that applies a relationship with your students. So having that connection with them even through technology, is really good.
Yes, definitely. I would say I would use it for different research projects. I would also use it like the active boards you can use, the document cameras or technology that you can use, smart boards, projectors, computers.
I say
And
so,
yet we're
yeah,
having
probably.
the kickoff, guys. So
Yeah.
I think if it's very focused and very intentional, yes, I do. Technology is a wonderful thing. Technology is a great thing when it's used properly. A lot of times students will take advantage of it and mess around on the phone, not pay very much attention, and ask 50 questions about what was just explained. And so when it's intentional and when it's used to refocus students, I think it's a great thing.